My name is Fares Kargar. I am founder and owner of Delbar. We specialize in North Iranian cuisine with a little bit twist of Lebanese and Turkish built into it as well. I'm from Northern Iran and that's the food that we cook here. Our specialty, I would say, is our kebabs. And we specialize in cooking on charcoal and using custom grills made by Demant. And he came basically save us back in 2021. I think we found him by accident. I used to always follow his Instagram page and always dream about all the equipment that he built, until one day I actually ended up looking at the location. I'm like, holy cow, this is 5 minutes away from the restaurant. I had no idea this guy was local. Then I just stopped by his shop and he came back to the restaurant, looked at the bootleg grill we had at the time that we had put together. And we were going through, like, we were buying a new grill every 6 months because they would fall apart. They were just all made of regular metal. Met with him at the shop, designed the first grill that we used for this restaurant, and it's been using all his products since 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021 is when we received our first grill from him, and it was a life changer ever since. So when you have something custom made for you, it's just the way it works is like normally you put a menu together when you open a restaurant, then you have to shop equipment for it to figure out, okay, what can I use to get this menu executed. When you have a power of customizing your own equipment, it entirely changes the game, because now you're not subject to what everybody else as American Range offers or walk-in offers. You can go to Chris and be like, we want to make this happen. This is the food that we want to cook. We're like, let's figure out the cooking equipment. Let's come up with the tandoor that stands oval versus the typical tandoor that you have to reach into. Let's figure out a charcoal grill that works perfect for our use and also has a smoker attachment, all the other things that we could possibly need. And at the time we only had one grill, which was, we were very limited on the space, so the biggest struggle was trying to figure out how to keep everything under one hood. Like, we want to cook in charcoal, but we don't want to have to lose the cooking space while we're cooking on charcoal. So we designed a grill that had a little back step so we could always have charcoal starting while we were still cooking and smoking fish at the same time. And it was a life changing. I guess I think the biggest struggle was getting it into the kitchen. Once we built it, we're like, all right, we built it, now how are we going to get it into the kitchen? For me, the biggest thing was always being able to do it the old school way. Like, the old school way was always cooking on charcoal. Marinate some kebab. Like, I'm from Northern Iran, there's a lot of mountain, there's a lot of hiking, there's a lot of outdoor adventure. We would always like marinate meat, take it and start a charcoal, take a little aluminum kind of old school grills with charcoal and start cooking in the forest basically, or you would go camping. Well, for me, the biggest thing was just nourishing that nature of using charcoal. So it started with me like sketching what I thought it would work. Then Chris putting it into 3D form and presented to me as an actual grill. It was like my handwritten little sketch of, this is what I think it should look like. Then Chris puts it into the 3D form and like, okay, now this is the actual grill. I'm like, holy cow, okay, this is pretty freaking cool. And using all his ideas, I was like, okay, this part of it is gonna be removable. You can take it out. You can add attachment to it. All those little hangers and bars that you can have. We have had whole ducks hanging from on top of our grill throughout the service. It would start serving it around 8 o'clock when it was ready. We've done leg of lamb hanging on there. We've done a lot of crazy stuff on that grill. The other part is the control you have over your menu. Like, you know your restaurant, you know the execution you have, you know what you want to fire. You can build it to exactly tailor your menu. I've been to his shop. He builds cooking equipment that can cover everything, single thing on the menu that we cook, and it's just one-stop shop. Your return on investment you're making basically is like, this thing gonna last you a lifetime. You can go to another restaurant, anywhere else, you'll have this thing.